In today's video, I'll give you a quick overview of Syllabyte's features, show you how to create a high-quality faceless video.
Across ancient civilizations, legends have served as the bridge between reality and a realm of imagination.
And share some exclusive deals. So first of all is that you want to go here into the website of Syllabyte wherein you could sign up. So make sure to use the link in the description so that you'd be able to get a discount and get bonuses worth $100 like 6 advanced retention hacks for making viral shorts and a step-by-step YouTube Shorts growth guide worth $70. And we also have a coupon code below that you could use. So now, once you're here in Syllabyte, is that what you want to do is that you simply going to click here on sign up, and then you will now be prompted here into this page wherein you could now provide your full name, email, password, and click on create account so that you'd be able to proceed and log into your account. Or you could just simply sign up with Google, which is much simpler and easier. So now, once you're in your account, you will now be able to sign in here into Syllabyte. And as you can see, I'm now signed in, and this is what would pop up when you first sign in here in Syllabyte, which would be the subscription plans. So in here, we would need one of this in order for us to proceed. So we could go for the annual pricing right here. In that way, we would get less to pay. As you can see, if we go monthly, it would be this price, and if we go annual, it will be this one right here. So you just have to pay it up front in order for you to get less spending when you are availing a yearly plan right here instead of monthly. But if you just want to try it out for maybe 2 months, then you should go for monthly in here. But as for this one, we're just gonna go for annual right here, and this is where we're gonna discuss the pricing. So now in here is we have the basic one. So these are the features that you'd be able to get in the basics. Basically, you have the same features as any other plan right here. It's just that they have more capacity. Like for example, here in basic, you only have 1 voice clone. As for standard, it has 3, and for premium has 5. Also for the scheduling, so you have only 20 for basic, 60 for standard, and premium for 180. And then the storage is 5 gigabytes only, and then you have 10 gigabytes for standard, and premium is 20. So yeah, you only have this much difference in terms of the features in here. So if you don't think that you'll be able to use up all of this capacity that this plan is offering, then I suggest that you just go for the basic. So yeah, you just need to measure up on how much you would like or you would be using for your social media posting, like scheduling, like the voice clone, and so on. So yeah, and then next you have the credits in here. So basically, Syllabyte is a credit-based platform. So with this, you would need to think about it carefully on how you're going to spend your credit, because this would be limited. It's not unlimited creation. So every time that you use or create a content here in Syllabyte, it would consume your credit. So basically, this is how much credit you would get when you go for the annual plan on basic. So this is basically 500 credits per month. So if you go for annual, it will be a total of 6,000 credit. And then you could also go for 12,000 credit if you'd want to, and this would be the price. Same goes for standard. You have the choice to go for 18,000 credits or 24,000 credits in here, depending on what you'd want. And then you could also go for monthly so that you'd be able to see the price if you would decide to go monthly. So yeah, so just make sure to measure up on how much you're going to be using Syllabyte, because you might not need too many voice clones or too many scheduling or storage, because all that the other plan would get you for a higher cost would be a higher capacity. So make sure that you measure it up first. And as for the credits, is that if you don't have any idea on how much credit that you should pick, then stick along with this video. I'll show you on how much credit it would consume when you create content so that you'd have an idea, and then some tips on how you can spend them carefully. And lastly is that you have a free trial here. As you can see, it says start a free trial so that you'd be able to enjoy any of this plan for 7 days without paying for it, as long as you cancel it before 7 days. So click here on start free trial on the plan and the credits of your choice. In my case, I'll just go with this one and click on start free trial. And now from here is that we have this window in here. So this is where we'd be providing our payment method and payment information. And from here, you can add a promotional code. So we have a coupon code for you, which you could also find in the description. So in here, click on add promotional code and just type in welcome 2025 and click on apply. And then from here, it would now have a discount in here. So 25% off one billing cycle. That is why I recommended the annual plan so that you would get a bigger discount because it is 25% off and you would have a bigger total amount on annual plan. And now, once you're done in here, you can now click here on checking this box to confirm that you've read, understood the terms and conditions and everything. So from here, you want to click on start free trial to proceed. Once that is successful, this is how your dashboard would look like now once you have your plan available on your account. So in here, we could now see the credits in here. So as for this feature in here, which is the faceless videos, as you can see, so our 300 credits is worth 23 minutes, and it would differ depending on the kind of feature that you'll be using here in Syllabi. For example, you'll be going here into video editor instead. You will have a different worth here for your 300 credits. So as you can see here, it would allow you to go for 50 minutes instead of 23, which is for faceless videos. So it would actually depend on what kind of feature you are using here in Syllabi. So as for this one, we'll just go here to the dashboard and we'll discuss this briefly one by one so that you'd have an idea on what you could do here on Syllabi. So here in the dashboard is where you'd be able to go for the bulk scheduler, faceless videos, and some showcase here in faceless videos, which you could find. So if you have some styles in here that you really like, you could just click on that. For example, this one, and click on create video now so that you'd be able to replicate this style with your content. And you have the discover ideas. So this is where you could generate content ideas. So you could use Google or any other search engines for that, like TikTok, YouTube, Trends, Instagram, and so on. So just type your topic in here and make sure that you're aware that discovering ideas will cost you 15 credits. So make sure that when you type something in here and click on discover ideas that you really mean it, because it would deduct 15 credits for you, which is quite a lot. And next is a real clone. So this is where you could clone yourself. So you could go for the real clone studio avatar. So this is studio quality avatar in here. That is why it is so expensive. And you have your real clone light avatar. So that you could unlock your digital twin with real clone light. So you could create a personalized avatar for $100. And then you have your voice clone, so you could record or upload your voice, and then you would be able to replicate your voice in here. So this is the real clone feature. And then next is that we have the thumbnail generator. So in here, all you have to do is describe your preferred thumbnail or provide a video script or description right here. So just provide details about how you would want your thumbnail to look like. So just provide it here, and then you can click here on create thumbnails, and it would now present you 3 versions at the cost of 1 credit. So it is quite cheap, but yeah, I recommend that you do this very precise so that you'd be able to spend less credits. And then this is where you'd be able to see the thumbnails that you have created previously. And next is we have the video editor, which we have already discussed earlier. So this is the credits right here. So with my credits, it's 300 credits. So it would allow me up to 50 minutes of video duration. So in here, we could just upload our media, audio, text, and shape, depending on how you'd want it, and more. So yeah, this is the video editor. Next is that we'll be going for the bulk scheduler. So this is where you could schedule your content in here. So you can click here on create bulk scheduler, and then you'd be able to add your social media accounts, and then your descriptions, tags, duration, start dates. So this is where you can see the weeks of the day wherein you could schedule your postings, and then the summary and so on right here. So yeah, this is the bulk scheduler so that you'd be able to schedule a lot of videos at a time or content. And then next is the analytics. So in here, you would need to connect your social media platforms first, like YouTube, TikTok, or whatever platform it is, as you can see right here. So just connect it first so that you'd be able to see the analytics of your social media platforms in one place. Next is my videos. So in here, this is simply where you'd be able to see all of the content that you have created here in Syllabi. So yeah, you'd be able to see it here, and then you can see the completed, the published. So these are all the content that you have already published in your social media accounts, and then the drafts right here. Next is the calendar. So this is basically where you'd be able to see everything that you have scheduled here for this month or for every other month in here, including those that have already been posted or not been posted yet. So this is where you can see an overview of everything that you've scheduled. And lastly is the connect. So this is where you'd be able to connect your socials in here to Syllabi so that you'd be able to schedule them seamlessly. So yeah, that's it. But as for this video, we'll be focusing on creating faceless videos. So in here, you can go back into dashboard, and then you could select one of these templates in here that you could replicate from, or you could just click here on create video so that you'd be able to create faceless videos. So in this example, I'm just going to click here on create video. So now in here, we can now proceed by first selecting our visuals. So we can go for AI visuals in here. So this is what AI visual would look like. So these are AI generated content or images right there. And then you could also go for the video vault. So if you'd like to use stock footages, realistic ones, then you could just go here. And then you could just choose the style or footage that you'd want to use. And then you could go for the B-roll videos. So you also have it here. So as you can see, this is how the B-roll video would look like. And then you have your URL to video. So you could post any URL in here from Amazon, eBay, or Redfin, or maybe Zillow. So this is useful if you are selling any products and you're using videos to market it. So you can convert any product or listing into an engaging video. As for this one, we'll be proceeding with AI visuals as this is the most popular one. So for example, I'm just going to go with this one right here, ancient fairy tale. So let's say that we are going to go with storytelling. And from here, we're going to go for the language. So you can select the language of your choice in here that you'd want for your content. And then we have subtitles. So what kind of style would you want for your subtitle? For example, I'm going to go for this one. And as you can see, it will also apply it here so that you would be able to see the preview on how it would look like. And you have so many other things in here. So let's say that I'm just going to stick with this one. And then the voices in here. So we could play some voices right here as sample. So first, let's go for Archie.
Hi there, I'm Archie. If you're after a young, energetic, and authentic British teen voice, then I'm here to help.
Now let's go for Sarah.
The years teach much which the days never know.
And we have Laura.
Our distrust is very expensive.
So yeah, those are the sample voices, and you have many more to choose from. But as for this one, I'm just gonna go with an older voice. So let's say I'm gonna go for George, and let's hear how it sounds like.
God has given you one face, and you make yourself another.
I think this is fantastic. It is really suited for a storytelling voice, which is like a wizard storytelling something. So yeah, this is appropriate for an ancient fairy tale. So I'm just going to choose George. So I'm going to click here on George. Right there, it's now chosen. Now for the video length, you could go for less than a minute, 1 to 3 minutes, and so on. And then you could also see the orientation. So you have the portrait and then the landscape one. So when I click here on landscape, as you can see, it will now be in landscape form right here. But I just want to use the portrait one. Let's say that I'm just going to upload this on YouTube Shorts or maybe the Reels. And take note that the video length here would affect how much credit will be deducted per creation on this content. And next is we can go for the advanced options. So in here, we can see the subtitle position. So we could make it on top, in the middle, or at the bottom. And then we have the subtitle color. So in my case, let's say that I would want to go for orange. So I'm just going to go orange. And as you can see, it's now orange. And then you have the subtitle animation. You could go for highlight. You could go for fade. You could go for bounce and so on. But in my case, I'll just want karaoke one right here. So just a simple jump cut. And then you have your background music. So in here, you could go for no music, or you could upload your own music, or you could use the categories in here to browse their library of music. So something that is appropriate for my content would be cinematic music or background music in here. So I could go for cinematic. And in here, I could just choose from the choices in here. So I could go for horror stories. So I can play it by clicking the play button. And that is how it would play out. And then you could go for documentary. So yeah, this is where you'd be able to play and choose your music in here. So as for this one, I'm just gonna go for no music because this is what I prefer when doing a storytelling video. Next is the sound effects. You can have it enabled or disabled. And then you have your animation effects. So you have your VHS. So this is how it would play out right here. So you can just wait for it to finish. And then as you can see, there is a VHS effects. And you could go for many more, like maybe dust in here to make it more dramatic. And there it is. As you can see, there is the dust particle. So you have many other choices in here, and you have the image transition. So in here, you could choose what transition you would want for each image that would show up in here. So you could go for random or many other transitions here of your choice. So in my case, I'll just go for a fade right here because I think this is appropriate for an ancient storytelling. Next is a folder in here. So you could add this folder so that you'd be able to stay organized so that you could see it here in the My Videos. So you could add it into a folder in here. And then you could also upload it with a watermark. So you could click here on upload and upload your watermark in here from your storage. Next is that you could save this as a preset, so you could name it here. So I'm just going to name it sample number 1. So this is useful if you would want to use this style over and over again so that you don't have to manually set the settings in here to achieve this same style. So yeah, this would save you a lot of time. So if you're using this style a lot for a social media channel, then this is definitely a must do. Then click on save preset once you're done, and it is now saved. Next is what topic should we focus on? So you could go upload a script here now. So you could upload or paste your own script in here or write it, or you could go for an AI script here. So just upload a prompt, or you could go for a URL to script. So you could paste an URL in here, and audio to video, you could also do it here. So take note that here in the URL to script, each 1-minute AI script will cost 1 credit. Same here in the AI script assistant right here, 1-minute AI script will cost 1 credit. So as for this tutorial, I'm just going to go with AI script assistant. So now I would want to write a video script about the impressive innovations and achievements of the Egyptian civilization. So this is just an example, but as for my case, I'm just gonna go for, let's say, one of these samples in here. I'm gonna go for the Legends of Ancient Realms and click on generate script. So this is very generic one. You could go for a more specific one if you'd want to, but since this is just a tutorial, I'm just gonna go for this one and click on generate script. And now it is now generating the script in here. And take note that the duration of the script would also depend here on your video length, because of course the script length here would need to fit your duration of the video. So now let's wait for it to be generated. And here it is. It is now generated, and we have the estimated video length right here, and then the estimated cost of credit in here for the total creation of this video. So this is the total cost in here. And as you can see, the video length in here matches our setting in here, which is 1 to 3 minutes, and it is 3 minutes in here. And now we can now view the script in here. So we could just read that and then maybe put some edit if you'd like to, if there's something that you don't really want or want some improvement. So you could definitely do that in here by deleting and then pasting whatever you'd want or typing it out. But in my case, I'll just leave it be. And from here, we have the change topic button here. So you can click that, and then you'd be able to change the topic in here if you'd want to. And then as you can see, you can now provide your own topic again. But in my case, I'll just stick with this one. All right, so now we have everything. So now once you're okay with the estimated credit cost, you can now click here on generate a video to proceed into creating the video. So I'm going to click here on generate video. And then this would pop up. So basically, you can just click on cancel if you don't want to create any more videos. Basically, this is just encouraging you to generate more. And now here we are, we will now be prompted here once we have generated a video, so we can see that it is currently rendering and it's in the process of generating the video. So let's wait for it and we'll view it later on. So now here it is. As you can see, it is now completed. So now it is now ready for us to view. So let's click it and let's play it.
Across ancient civilizations, legends have served as the bridge between reality and a realm of imagination. A tapestry whispers of the epic of Gilgamesh, one of humanity's earliest in the face of life's immutable cycles. When Enkidu tragically died, where the mythologies of ancient India await us with the enthralling tale of the Ramayana, beside his faithful wife Sita and devoted brother to Dharma despite adversity, illustrates the essential balance between duty and personal desire, an idea of both gods and men, whose mighty hammer, Mjolnir, stands as a symbol of strength and protection. Of Gilgamesh, Rama, and Odin, we gain insight into In revisiting these legends, we connect with a shared history, immersing ourselves in the richness of human imagination that continues to inform and inspire in the present and for generations yet to come.
So yeah, this is the content that we have created with Syllabi. So I think the Faceless AI content here is really good. As you can see, the text in here really blends well with the story, and then the images are all in high quality. They are really engaging with the story. Right here, it is really appropriate. And then the voice is also impeccable. I made the right choice choosing this voice because it really suits it well. And now that we have viewed it, and now let's say that we would want to use it now. So now we can click here and go back. And then from here, we would now have these options to edit the images if you'd like to do some editing. So if you're not satisfied with it, or you'd have to make some improvements, then you can click here. And then you could also click here to publish. So you can publish it on your social networks that you have associated with your Syllabi account. Or you could just copy the link in here, and then basically you could just share it, or you could just download it, and then you will be the one to use it into whatever social accounts you would like it to use. So in here, if you don't have the social accounts in here that you would like to upload your content to, then the best option that you have is to download this video and then upload it manually on that certain social media platform. So that's it for our overview here in Syllabi and a quick simple tutorial on how you can create a high quality faceless AI video. So make sure to use the link in our description if you are planning on using Syllabi to get a discount and get bonuses. Make sure to use also the coupon code that I have provided earlier on this video to get 25% discount on your first purchase. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.